These are all the ingredients you need for excellent chocolate chip cookies. And first we add the flour. We start with the dry ingredients, and flour is definitely dry. Baking powder. Salt. Mix it well so everything is evenly distributed. Then we add the butter, and first we melt it so it's easier to mix. And I usually make it into smaller sizes so it's easier to melt. It works at lower temperature. The sugar. This time I just mix it with the dry ingredients. Then the brown cane sugar. It has a lot of flavor. It makes sure the cookies become a little darker and they become a little softer, more chewy. We don't want any lumps, so we mix it. Hazelnuts. And that's the butter you can hear in the background. I forgot to take it off. Cut the nuts. I chop them into about quarter or halves. We don't want to chop them too finely because that will turn them into dust in our mouths. That's unpleasant. Actually, I think the best way to do it is find something heavy and then hit them with that. That breaks them up in natural large sizes. That's the way I usually do it. It's also fast. Then you get these irregular lumps. The chocolate, I'm usually very careful to cut it in a quarter-inch sizes, a quarter-inch or half a centimeter. If you chop that too finely, you get chocolate dust, and you won't see any large pieces of chocolates, and that's a shame. The eggs, and now the melted butter. Oh yeah, and I forgot vanilla sugar. I add this now. I usually use a homemade vanilla sugar. I just start out with a spoon because it's very sticky, and then when it gets more firm, I use my hands. That's the easiest. And finally, I add the chocolate and the nuts. Just mix it well, so we don't get some cookies with all the nuts and chocolates and some complete without. About a tablespoon with top. That's the size. If you got an ice cream scoop, or about a quarter a cup, or half a deciliter, then that's a good size too. And it's very quick to do. But one thing is whether the cookies are the same size, but they absolutely must be the same height, because that's what decides how long they take to bake. How wide they are is not that important. And actually it's sometimes a good idea just to have 6 on each baking pan, because they can float and become a lot wider when they're baked. But about 10 minutes, plus minus a minute. They're soft in the middle and brown at the edges, then they are done, in this recipe at least. And now comes the hardest part of the process, waiting for 20 minutes until they are cooled. They taste fantastic, so enjoy. And you can find the list of ingredients and the recipe on kvalifood.